Children, welcome to channel Sube. Today I am going to discuss question number 38, MCQ 38 of 2019 Physics new syllabus paper. A piece of metal is attached to the top of a rectangular wooden block that floats in water. As shown in the figure, 50% of the volume of the wooden block is submerged in water. The metal piece and the wooden block have the same mass. If the wooden block with the metal piece is flipped upside down, what could be the percentage of the volume of the wooden block submerged in water? Slightly smaller than 50%, much smaller than 50%, 50%, slightly larger than 50%, much larger than 50%. Children, this problem is an easy one. So they say the masses are equal. Mass of this wooden block, say M, and mass of this metal block also M. So total weight we can mark like this. It is 2 times mg, because mm 2m times g. So since it is floating, the weight must be equal to the upthrust. The upthrust is given by only this part of the wooden block, because only that part is submerged in water. So the upthrust is given by this part. So it is equal to half volume V rho g, half V rho g, because say the volume, total volume is V, so only this part is submerged, so that part is half. So half V rho g is the upthrust. Upthrust is that much. That is the upthrust. So now after flipping this the system, so they say the metal piece is flipped, the wooden block with the metal piece is flipped upside down. So when they flip this upside down, so let us do it now. So this one flip like this. So you see the previous watermark here, surface, water surface, the mark of the water surface. So if for the second time submerged up to this level, what happens? The total upthrust is larger than previous one, because this metal piece also submerged and half of the wooden block also is submerged. So what happens? The total upthrust is increased now. So that can't be, because it must be equal to the weight. The weight didn't change. So therefore, since now this metal piece also supplying upthrust, then the volume must be decreased like this. It should come up a little bit, say quarter of this wooden block. So like that. Now the water level is this much. So less than previous. From this wooden block is underwater now, because now if we estimate the upthrust V rho g, before that we have to get the upthrust given by this metal block, because now it is also underwater, submerged. So that gives an upthrust, say U metal. So that also we have to take into account. So the upthrust given by the metal piece and also the upthrust given by the wooden block now. So this U, wooden, W, say W, from the wooden, from the upthrust from the wooden block. So since now we have a extra term, this so plus v rho g, what fraction of v? So we can't say half, because then what happens? This total term has been increased than this one. It can't happen, because this total right side, the total amount must be equal to previous mg, previous weight. So since this didn't change, this value didn't change, therefore the right side, total right side should be should remain without changing. Therefore this part, when this, since this part has come into the equation strangely, so this part increased, so from this part some amount should decrease. So therefore we can write plus perhaps half, not half, quarter. It can't be half, because we have an extra term here. So from this term some amount must be reduced. Therefore it can't be half, we can say it might be quarter v rho g. So this can happen, because the left side of the equation is not equal if the other term is not reduced, because a part is strangely added to the equation, then the total upward thrust increases. So therefore some amount must be decreased somehow. So somehow means from this term some amount must be decreased. So therefore total amount remaining constant. Now we can choose the answer. It is little bit smaller, slightly smaller than 50, because this extra upthrust is not a big one, because this volume of this metal is not so big. It is you can see from the figure, it is compared to the volume of this wooden block, this one is a little amount. So therefore we can't say much, we can say slightly smaller than 50%. However, it must be smaller, this part must be smaller. So therefore the submerged part must be smaller than previous one. Therefore the answer is this one, slightly smaller than 50. What is slightly smaller? The submerged portion, submerged part from this wooden block. So this question is not a big issue. So children, I think you are happy. So please subscribe my channel before you leave. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.